The stories, opinions, and advice shared in this podcast reflect our experience as holistic guides and the perspective of our guests. This content is intended for informational and reflective purposes and complements your own learning and growth process. It does not replace professional specialized care when needed. We invite you to take what resonates with you and apply what you learn consciously.
You get caught up in this like rat race, if you will. Like, what are you truly chasing? Is it just money? Right? Is that it? Because you have other humans that depend on you, not just financially, but overall, just time and the presence.
Yes.
And there was a time in our lives, not that long ago, just recent, where we were losing ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And we were getting left out over here.
Okay.
And we, thank God, we came to a realization that it's like, this is more important.
So for me, that was really hard. But he never made me feel like, he always made me feel beautiful. So for me, it was like, I loved that. I never questioned that. Like he always made me feel good about it. So
and what was that thing that you felt like it was natural to show about yourself?
He always let me be me.
Okay.
He always let me be me. So for me, I think he liked, maybe now he gets annoyed with it. But for me, I'm very vocal. Not in an offensive way, but I'm very passionate in a lot of things. And I think that he liked that. I think it changed his perspective. We might, have different perspective on things, but I like that he listened, like even when it comes to politics, like I think we come from different worlds and that's okay.
Yeah.
But he's always listened, and he's just the same way I listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not perfect. And as I called our life an adventure, but then that adventure is not always pretty. And we've had our flaws, and we had our differences, and we're
Yes.
So I want to be very honest and transparent.
Love it.
So I want to be vocal, because there might be someone out there who needs to hear someone else's story.
Yes.
Maybe it can help them.
Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode. Today, you guys are in for a treat, okay? The couple that we're about to introduce, not only are they our friends, close friends, we admire them a lot, and their story, it's something that is worth hearing. And here they're today with us to share this story. First and foremost, if you guys have been following this atmosphere for a while, you guys know that this is Spanish spoken podcast. So we've been testing a few episodes so far, and we've been loving it so far. Okay, the response of the audience, it's amazing. So we're gonna continue to do so, and we'll see where this journey takes us to. Okay, so remember, you can follow us in social media as at Apertura Podcast, and then you can also visit our website, which is comunidadenapertura.com. We'll put that in the description in the episode.
Podcast, yes.
Exactly. So you want to go ahead?
Well, I honestly want to take the time to welcome this amazing couple that is next to us. Ale and Jose, you guys will have your time to introduce yourselves. We chose you because you guys are very transparent. And this is literally the objective of this podcast, right? Be as transparent, as real as possible. Always, keeping our privacy, right? There's things that we have to keep, but I think there's so much information that you guys have to share. And I love that you guys are very vintage. You cannot see the whole space, but if you ever have the chance to come over, they have a very beautiful decor. Yes. And I love that as well. That says that they're old souls. But definitely the clarity that you guys have acquired throughout the years and the experience, right? You guys are parents. So definitely we're gonna go more deep into that. We know that you have a pretty interesting story. You've been through a lot. You're very special and authentic, couple, because you have this lifestyle where you're a mixed and family, right? Yes. Or blended family, as people know it. So we definitely want to hear more about you. We want to get to know you more and see your guys' perspective about life and everything you've gone through. So welcome again.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having us.
It's
We're honored to be here. This is our first podcast together.
Welcome.
Thank
Woo!
you. So we're hoping it's the first of many.
Of course, of course. So let's get started,
Sure.
right? I know people want to learn about you. So why don't you share how long have you guys been together?
Go ahead.
You sure? Want me to start? Okay. Well, this is my wife Alejandra. I'm Jose. We are the Llamas family, and we met back in the summer of 2015.
Wow.
We met in the summer of 2015, so just shy over 10 years. And maybe you'll agree with me that it was, I want to say it was love at first sight. As corny, yes, I understand. Oh my God.
Well,
It
she's
was.
beautiful and
Well,
I saw him
she's-
walk through the door. He was tall, dark, and handsome. And I really told my girlfriend, I'm going to marry that guy.
oh.
I'm going to marry him.
Manifestation.
Yes, I said, I'm going to marry him. And my friend, she was like, well, may the best girl win, you know? And he came to me.
I love it. Love attraction right there.
I mean, you used to be a musician, right?
So I will forever be a musician.
Okay.
Yes.
That was my profession.
Okay.
Full-time musician, and this particular night we were performing at a local nightclub here in Southern California. Shout out to a mi Hacienda de la Puente.
Yes. Fabulous.
And we met at a club, and that particular evening I had, done my performance or whatever, and I believe there was a mutual birthday that a friend.
Okay.
And so I decided to stick around, grab a beer. And so I walk in through the front doors of the venue, and we go to our typical location at the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And the first thing I see this, red hair, well, I hadn't seen her eyes yet because I saw it from afar, and it's dark, but I remember she was wearing a red dress. I was like, how you doing, right?
Yeah, how you doing?
And so, I mean, you're intentional, and it's like, well, let me stand here next to her, see if I can start a conversation. And
I love it. What about you,
here we
Ale?
are.
When you
love
saw
it.
him, like, what happened?
I was
Besides, like, manifesting, like, I want to
Yes.
marry that guy.
He was just so nice. He was so nice. He was so kind. I remember after we talked the whole night, and then he's like, I got to go home. And he said, will you walk me to my car? And so I was like, that's weird, And then he said, what'd you say? He said, let me give you my number for you to call me. And I was like, I don't call guys, Like,
You call
he's
me.
like, I left my phone in my car. And I was like, at least there's a phone in the car. And then he told me he was a musician, so he doesn't keep his phone on him when he's performing. I was like, oh, musician. Wow.
So what did you like the most about him right away?
He was just a good conversationalist. He had he was so sweet. He was nice. He was tall, dark, and handsome too.
And when you just meet someone and you just start a conversation and it's like never ending.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened that night.
Did you guys kind of have that feeling that you've met before? Like that, was it that kind of connection? Like it felt familiar?
I didn't, but I had butterflies the entire time. And then the next day when he called me, the butterflies. And I remember our first time actually meeting in person was in Chicago. He had a gig out there, and I went there, and I lied. I told him that, I was going to be out there the same weekend, but my brother lived in Chicago.
Okay.
I just wanted to see him. I never told you that.
What,
So I went to go, I told my brother, I want to go see you. But I really didn't want to. I wanted to just be with him.
oh.
So I saw my brother, and then we met up in Chicago. And
Yeah. I was on
after we
tour over
left,
there.
though, I remember separating from him, and I just started crying because I just felt something I had never felt, and it was the butterflies, and I was like, I hope he calls me again,
That's so
I didn't know what was gonna happen, and then
What about you, Jose? What did you like the most about her at first sight?
You know
Besides
what?
her beauty.
I just, of course, I'm not gonna, how do you say it? BS, and the first thing you see is the physique,
Yeah.
right? And
I mean, she's
she was
beautiful,
very
you know?
attractive, beautiful, and everything.
In nature, yes.
But right away, because of the conversation we were having that night, and then we met up in Chicago and just converse and converse and converse. It was how real she was,
Yeah.
how authentic she was, and how supportive she was. and not only supportive, but continue pouring belief into me.
Amazing.
That it's like, well, if you want to do this, why don't you do it? And for me, it was, like nobody has ever talked to me like that.
Exactly.
And I appreciated that. And it's like, man, like, this is awesome, right? So that's how it happened. And it was too easy. It was way
And we
too
don't
easy.
see that often, right, my love?
Nope.
Like there's not a lot of couples that have that partner that supports them or validates them or.
No, but it's beautiful that story, because you feel it. It's not intellectual. It's not just a physical attraction. It's like within the soul. It's like energetic. You know.
Of course.
They're linked. You guys are linked through the soul.
Let's get more into your guys' lifestyle. Okay. We'll have more time to go deeper into your guys' relationship. Besides your relationship, what else are you guys investing your energy into? It could be business, it could be your kiddos, hobbies, passions. Tell us about that individually.
I would say, well, primarily it's mostly been our business for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
With that comes a lot more stuff, because we've gone so hard in business that, like everybody, you kind of lose sight of the important stuff, which is family, you know. And in our minds, we've been thinking, work hard, because then we can give our family the life that we want. And today, you know, not going too much in detail, we're in a place where it's like, we worked so hard for 5 years, but we've missed, because we are a blended family. We have 5-year-old twins. We've worked so hard during the first 5 years where it's like, we haven't taken a vacation. We haven't given our kids experiences. So to say specifically what we focus a lot, it's primarily been work. But today, at this precise moment, now we're like, okay, we're working hard because we're going to take our kids here. We want to do this. We want to create experiences now. So I think that's our primary focus. Still working. We're still trying to build a business. We're still trying to build a legacy, something for our children. But
how's that awakening like? When that happens to most couples out there and people that, you know, we have to work. It is what it is. We got to pay bills. But that awakening of, oh, I've been tilting more towards the working side than family. How's that when you wake up from that? What happens after? How does it feel?
I would say for me, it's a roller coaster of emotions. There's guilt, there's excitement. There's guilt in the sense where, like, I missed out on this. But then there's excitement. Well, I can create this. How am I going to create it? And then it's working together as a couple. Like this week, I was like, hey, I want to go here. I want to take our kids to these places. These are the list of places that I want to take. And then we started, you know, like, dang, that's cheap. Why haven't we done this? This is affordable. Why haven't we done this? And we've just committed so much to work that we haven't done that. So now there's a new excitement. It's like, let's make it happen. Let's book it. Let's just do it.
I love it.
How's for you?
What
Jose?
about you, Jose?
You know, because of I want to take it back a little bit, and you guys will see where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Through my music journey, my music career, if you will.
Yeah.
I was so focused and committed that there was nothing else but my dream of becoming a star, a rock star, a celebrity, and making it big. Yeah. You know what I mean? We've accomplished several, you know, things in my music career. I was Grammy nominated.
Of course, yes.
I mean, like that's a bragging right.
Put
Like,
it right here. Do you have it?
I do. It's I'll bring it out right now. Yeah. And that's a humongous accomplishment. So I'm proud of that. But along with that came a lot of temptation, right? Which a man weak, younger, and you fall for that trap.
Yes.
Right? So there comes a point in your life where it's like, I don't want this anymore. Yeah. And then God works in mysterious ways. And then he puts new people, new opportunities in your path. And I always give it to Alejandra. I always say, you're the biggest blessing in my life. You came at a crucial time and you helped me. Like, you revived this guy, right? And so now that I'm not in music, because I was there for 16 years.
16?
That was all I knew.
How old were you when you started?
Well, I've been playing music since I was a little kid, you know.
But like formally, like when you started
professionally?
Like in your, what, 16?
22.
Oh, okay.
Professionally,
Yeah.
if you will.
Cool.
So after I exited the music industry, it's like, well, okay, well, now what?
I remember that.
Remember?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. So I'm biting my nails. It's like, okay, well, let me start brainstorming. Let me start doing some digging. And somebody introduced me to insurance, right? And it's like, well, they can teach you here and all that stuff. So I got into insurance and I fell in love with it. I loved it, you know. And so when we started getting serious, it was a long distance relationship.
Oh, you guys went on.
We
For how
weren't-
long?
Not that long, maybe
Like
a year and a half, 2 years.
That's
Oh,
enough.
that's
Still,
something.
that's
Yeah.
enough. You're like, yeah.
So she's from the Bay Area. I'm from Southern California. So once I exited the music industry, it's like, wait a minute. I don't really have to stay here in Southern California. I can just pick up and go.
Of course.
And I went to the Bay to be with her. You
Went
know,
to get a mermaid.
right? I was, while my exiting, you know, point in my life from the music industry, I will still travel every weekend, right? But I will go back to the Bay Area and be with her.
Oh.
So that's when it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do after I retire from the music industry? And I went into insurance. We developed a business for notary,
Okay.
right? We became very successful. So because it was new, it was exciting, right? And mind you, at the time, we didn't have our twins. So we were gunning and running. Yes, we have her kids, we have my kids, because we're a blended family. We're the Mexican Brady Bunch.
If I can interrupt and say
Yeah.
something, because
Very abundant family.
Yes.
when he got out of music, I think he hit a point in his life like, what am I going to do? Like, what do I have to offer? Like, he had to start from scratch and figure it out. And so I remember he had a really cool lifestyle. I remember even our first trip, we went to Cancun, we were in a wedding, and there were celebrities
everything.
and stuff like that. So he didn't know, like, I was total like starstruck fan. Like, it was an exciting world for me. So when he left, I didn't want him to leave, but his income wasn't the greatest, you know, because things had changed, and that was his primary focus. So I remember when he was going to start, and I'm getting somewhere with this, is that I was really embarrassed because he wanted to become a notary. And in my mind, notaries were only making $10, $15 a signature. And I remember he was researching, and I was like, oh, you know, like, because I worked in the tech industry, so I worked with a bunch of executives. So I was like, I would say, just say you do, you're a musician, just say, I was very embarrassed. So where I'm going with this is that whatever he sets his mind to, he's going to be great at. So he built this, he became a notary, and he started studying and he's studying. I remember he wanted to invest in himself. I'm like, no, we're planning a wedding. You can't.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even let him get a printer. The printer was like $300. You know, I was like, no. I didn't understand business. And even with him not fully understanding it yet, he knew there's just always something in him that aspired to be great. He knew that he needed to invest in this in order to take himself to the next level, because he was probably already doing notary. You were probably doing about $2,000 a month, and I was holding him back. I was like, no, scarcity mindset. You know,
So
like,
he was more risky
yes,
in that sense.
I
Like,
needed.
let's try something
I
new.
needed those $400. Like,
Oh.
I don't know if you're gonna do much with it.
course.
And I remember he said, just give me your Amex. I'm gonna put it on. And he got the Amex.
It was her Amex, okay?
Just to be
He
clear.
tried-
Just to be clear.
Well, so
Can
he
you explain what that is for people that don't know?
American Express.
Okay.
Okay, American Express. He got it. He bought the printer, and our business went from him I'll say our business. His business went from him making $2,000.
All of a sudden, it's her business.
It's your Amex.
2,000 to all of a sudden 10,000 to 15,000 to 20,000 a month. He always saw a vision that I didn't see, and I feel like I held him back from that, you know. And I always say, whatever he does, he's great at, and
That's
it's
beautiful.
So overall, that's what happened. So you get excited because, oh, this is new. Wait a minute, I can do this. Well, what else can I do? So to go back to the original question you asked about now, what excites you? Yeah, of course, we have to work. There's no ifs or buts, right? Of course. But we have a family, right? We have
Beautiful
older
family.
kids. Thank you. Now we have, God bless us with twins.
How old are
And
they?
you have more. You have.
Oh, we're
dogs.
gonna
3
punch
pets.
over there. So.
So they're,
he's family.
Yeah,
He's been
they're
around.
family.
Longer.
Yes.
So
He's been around longer than Jose.
yeah. You get caught up in this like rat race, if you will. Like, you know, what are you truly chasing? Is it just money, right? Is that it? Because you have other humans that depend on you, not just financially, but overall, just time and the presence.
Yes.
And there was a time in our lives, not that long ago, just recent, where we were losing ourselves,
Yes.
right? And we were getting left out over here.
Okay.
And we, thank God, we came to a realization that it's like, no, like this is more important,
That's a
right? So when
awakening.
Alejandra says we want to give our kids experiences, yes, but ourselves too. So we want to create those experiences. So that's where we're at in our new journey and new chapter in life, new year, new me, right?
I love
That's
it.
where we're at right now. Is our family, it's our kids, devotion, time, and experiences.
Now that you both have more time, are you being more intentional, or you've figured out
Yeah.
what time is all about, or it is the most important thing, right? Besides health. How do you guys enjoy each other? Like, besides kiddos, business, how do you guys like to spend time when you have the time? Because I know the kiddos absorb a lot of time. What do you guys do? How do you like enjoying each other, or individually as well? Any hobbies?
I think we could be better at making more time. It's one of the things we constantly talk about. Like, we have to have a date night once a week. Have we programmed that in there? No, because we feel like we're so indulged in work that the time that we do have, we're trying to spend some time with the kids. But is it something that we have to work on? Absolutely. Because, you know, you hear people say you have to date, you have to date, you have to laugh. And I think the last 3 or 4 years we lost that because we were so caught up in work. It's not that we don't, it's not that we don't have a good time. Like, when we do have a good time, every once in a while we'll sneak out, we'll have a drink together. We'll try, even sometimes, even if we can't get out, it's like, hey, let's have a drink, and we'll sit here and we'll just talk
Late at night.
But it's one of those things, now that we've freed up our time, we have to be more intentional about it, and that's what we have to work on.
Looking back to you guys' story so far, what would be that word that describes your marriage? Like, one word. I want to hear that from each other.
I know that, and I told her from day one, it's an adventure.
I love it.
For me, it's an adventure. That's for this guy right here. I said it to you from day one. This is an adventure, and it's so beautiful because I've gone to travel the world with her. We've had a beautiful wedding. We had our friends from all over the world.
You got married in Mexico, right? In San Miguel Allende, right?
Allende. I love
So beautiful.
You know
it was
what?
like a fairy
Guanajuato?
tale. It was
And you know what's
awesome.
really cool?
I wish I knew you.
Is we're gonna do a ballerina.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talk about, I think, when we've gone through difficulty and we second guess who we are, what we're doing, one thing that we look back at is, together as a couple, when we set our minds to something, we can accomplish anything. And I reminded him when we were feeling very defeated a couple months ago, hey, remember when we were getting married and our wedding? You know, for a wedding in Mexico, I think we spent like $120,000 on our wedding. So that's obviously a beautiful wedding, but part of that is because we had some friends that got married and they had Conjunto Primavera at their wedding. And for us, we were like, I want that too. They're good friends of his. And I said, hey, let's do it. And we just had my salary, and this is when he was doing the notary business. And we're like, something inside of us, we're like, let's do it. And I remember we set our goals. So where I'm going with this is that we were intentional. And when we want something, we're going to make it happen. And we busted our butts to make it happen. So I told him, I was like, there's nothing that we can't do.
I love it.
There's nothing that we cannot do together. If we have the goal, we talk about it, and we fight for it, we can make it happen. So fast forward to today, it's like, well, why don't we reapply that? Nothing is not attainable. And
So what
together
word-
we can do that.
What word would you pick to describe your marriage?
Beautiful.
I'm trying to find the right word, but I think the most one that's coming to my mind is forgiveness.
Okay.
I would say forgiveness. Forgiveness, because I think that I remember in the beginning when we first got married, I would hear people say, oh, marriage is hard, marriage is hard. And I remember telling him we were here and our life was perfect. We just bought the beautiful home. We were making really good money through the notary business. I remember driving and I said, well, why do people say marriage is hard? Like, this is easy. This is fun. Yeah. But we didn't have our own set of kids, or we had just had babies. So it was easy.
Mind you, let me interrupt you. Mind you, 5 years, almost 6 years, we didn't have our own kids. We had her kids, we had my kids.
So it was like a honeymoon.
It was a honeymoon.
Yeah.
Imagine two adults just by themselves because they have their family, their other family, their dad, which is a good friend of mine, grandparents. My kids live out of state. They're with their family, right, on a daily basis.
Yes.
And then it was just us two. So when I say it's an adventure, because it's like,
It is an adventure.
where do you want to go?
Yes.
What part of Mexico do you want to go? Because we love Mexico. What part of Europe do you want to go?
Yeah.
Right? What part of the country do you want to go here in the States?
So even after marriage, you guys were still dating, kind of thing. You know,
Yes.
like
Yes.
having that
It was fun.
freedom and
Yeah.
It was fun.
And we didn't have to ask for permission. And we didn't say, okay, you guys with your grandparents? Okay, well, hey, where do you want to go? Book the tickets right now.
Adults,
your bag,
with,
let's go.
adults with money, health, and,
It
and
was-
time. It's like,
So you
Not
understand
the
where it's
world.
coming from?
Yes.
It's an adventure? It's
Yeah.
been an adventure.
And then
For
we
me, it's
had
been
kids,
awesome.
and it was like reality hit.
now you understood
reality
it.
hit because I had been a single mom for about 10 years, and his kids were raised out of state. You know, he was here in California, his kids are in Washington. So then we had kids, and that's where differences of opinions come. Even though, you know, you're still on the same page as far as discipline and stuff, but it's
Yes.
different. Jose's very OCD, very clean. You look at his closet, you look at my closet. His closet is, everything is color coordinated. He has velvet hangers. Everything's perfect.
oh my God,
Perfectly
Jose, I need to
fingered.
see that.
He
I need to
gets-
see
That's
that.
that's
No.
her as well.
Oh, I'll show
That's
you.
Alma.
You guys should put it in the video. Okay. So everything's evenly spaced. He gets home and we're opposites. He, you know, once we started living together, we was like, oh crap, you know, like he gets dressed, comes home every day and he takes off his clothes. He hangs it. Everything's nice. You know, he irons every day. And me, I'm like, I throw it in the dryer. You know, it's like, oh, they're good. And he's like, fix your pants here. Let me iron them. So he's iron. Where I'm going with this is that we started to see differences in like who we are, and especially when it came to like the kids and growing up. And that's when I think reality started to set in, and we started to, you know, have disagreements. We started to.
Yeah. And it's a combination of a lot of things because now her kids are teenagers. And you know, we were once teenagers. Now you know it all. You're a teenager, right? You know it all. And I don't need to listen to you. I mean, who are you? You're not my father.
Yes.
So now that plays a role. And it's like, oh shit. Like now I have to go through this, right?
Challenge.
Yeah.
What I did to my own parents or whatever, now I have to deal with it. But I'm also a stepfather, right? I'm not their father. So I have to play that role, right? Because you know that's my job, and they're here, and now we have new little human beings, right? Which I am their father,
Yes.
right? And I still have other older kids, which I'm their father, long distance because we're not close to each other. So then life hits you. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I think
reality
life-
how are you
hits.
gonna deal with this?
I think life really hit him
Yeah.
because it's like he's used to living, and I'm not saying in a bad way.
Bachelor.
A bachelor. He's used to living in his own bubble.
Yeah.
Everything's clean, everything's immaculate. Like he cannot understand as a parent, he cannot understand as a human being how he has mismatched socks.
Oh.
He cannot understand that. So when he
Man,
started
we
living
really
with
do.
us, he's like, well, where are my socks at? How do I not have like 10 pair of socks? Why is there only 7? But you know, when
So
you're
the chaos, right?
Yes.
when you're a parent, everybody knows that the washing machine just eats your socks. You just don't, they disappear. And so now it's like even like the shoes at the front door. I mean, there's some right there right now. You know, he can't even wrap his head around how these
Put 'em away.
animals can, you know, just not take their shoes off and put them in the corner like he does. So he's had a lot of understanding how
Yeah.
that works, and it's
Rude awakening.
and it's challenging
process, yeah,
first
of course,
because
yeah.
they're my kids, you know, and he has to be very careful how his delivery,
Yeah, of course.
because by nature it's just like he can't understand that. But he's really learned to now that it's been, you know, 5 years, well, we've been together 10 years, but now it's been 5 years. He has his own kids now. He understands. So now it's funny. Now I see him kick his shoes off and leave his socks
That's
everywhere.
changed.
So I'm like, Hey, your socks are right there.
Yes.
Hey, your shoes. Remember, you used to talk all that crap, and now they're right there. So.
Guys,
fun.
we're about to start.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way.
We're about to go deeper into great questions. But my last question before entering into that is, what is one intention that you guys are holding for this conversation? Like, you guys are coming into this show, opening to us for your story and the audience to process and hear this amazing message that we're conversing right now. What will be that intention from each other to be in front of a camera and tell your story?
So if it's our story, it's not perfect, first of all. And we are the type of people that we're very honest and transparent, and we're not going to BS you because we're not perfect. And as I called our life an adventure, but then that adventure is not always pretty. And we've had our flaws, and we had our differences, and we're
Yes.
So I want to be very honest and transparent.
Love it. Appreciate that.
So I want to be vocal, because there might be someone out there who needs to hear someone else's story.
Yes.
Maybe it can help them. So
course.
that's my intention.
Love it.
Love it. What about you, Ole?
I think for me, my intention is that as a couple, when you set your mind to something, anything is possible. But to what he was saying is, there's going to be bumps in the roads, and the beautiful thing about it is, well, it's doing it together, but also, when it comes to being married, there's going to be a lot of challenges. There's going to be a lot of forgiveness. There's going to be a lot of growth, a lot of choosing your battles, and I think we work through that. We work through that every day, but that's the beautiful part. And so my intention would be, if there's people wanting to build businesses, if there's people who want to, like right now, we're in the process of building 3 businesses. Mm-hmm. It's possible. It's not easy, but anything you put, I don't think there's anybody that I could work with that would be more gratifying to accomplish anything in life than my spouse. So that's one thing that I want to share. And it's not going to be perfect. When people who act like it's perfect and pretend, it's not. No. We fight and we cry, but we know when we have to, it's showtime. And one thing that we want to be better. We believe that you need a coach for everything in life. Yes. And as we've evolved, we know, I think we need a coach spiritually. I think we need a coach in our business, which we have. I think we need a coach even when it comes to parenting, because there's a lot of things that we don't agree on. And, on a high level, yes, we agree, but it's learning to navigate through that. So I think that's important, and it's okay. It's okay not to be perfect.
I love
it's
it.
Okay, yeah, and I think that's why, and I see this every day and in sessions, therapy, that couples are always having this high expectations of perfection, like looking great, mostly, look at social media, right? It's just projecting, and I think we're responsible of it. Like, what are we putting out there, right? And yeah, we do have to normalize conflict. Mm-hmm. Like healthy conflict. But I think also sometimes we are unconsciously projecting something, right? And we at the end, we don't have control of how people perceive us. You can genuinely be a happy couple, happy and perfect couple, and It's okay. Functional, which you guys are. And I love it. I love the fact that doing this, it's really brave. And for that, guys, I don't have a hat or anything. I will take it off.
That's you.
Because not everybody has this bravery of being here and just opening to a whole world out there. And honestly, it's a very humble gesture from you guys. First of all, believing in yourselves.
Yep.
Secondly, believing in us and believing in this project, that your guys' story, it is valuable. Yeah. Very valuable. Okay. And we see it and we validate it. So thank you for being here.
I want you guys to share with us, if you guys feel that you choose each other, or do you guys think that life put you guys together, or a combination of both? Let's go deeper into the divine thing.
I would say it's a combination of both. For me, one thing that I believe is that you cannot truly be happy until you learn how to be happy on your own. So I was in a relationship, I would say, for 13, 14 years with my kid's dad. And I remember when we broke up, I was so desperate to be with somebody else because I was so used to having somebody. And I jumped into something else. And because I was, first of all, I was a single mom with 3 kids, and I thought, who's going to want me? Who's going to want me? And then when I really figured out I'm not happy with this person, I had to learn how to be by myself. And once I learned to be by myself, I started enjoying life. I started enjoying my kids. I stopped being so annoyed just by them. I started traveling. I started finding my confidence in myself. And I think you radiate that. And I think that once I found that in myself, I think that the world brought me him.
Exactly.
And he was always in my mind, kind of, the tall, dark, and handsome. And you never think it's really going to happen. But once I stopped looking, I found him. But I also think that going to the other point is I have to choose to now stay with him and make things work.
Okay.
Wow.
Because I love him. Because I love him and I want to. And marriage isn't easy. And like we said, the first couple of years, everything's perfect. But now reality sets in. So I choose him every day. And even though we have our differences, and I think with that comes a lot of forgiveness,
Yes.
because it hasn't been perfect. We've had our own set of challenges, but I think you forgive. But I also think that when you forgive, you truly forgive. And I don't think a lot of people understand forgiveness. So I don't believe in throwing things in somebody's face. I think that when you have to really understand forgiveness.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand forgiveness.
Deep
Yeah.
words
And I
right
think for me, that's been very important. And I know for my own personal growth, like I've had to go through anger management before because, it's deeper than that, like with my ex. And, but that was very important to me because I remember I'm like, but he did this and he cheated on me and he did this and he did that. And I remember the coach told me, but you allowed it. You didn't have to stay. You didn't have to hit him when you found out he cheated on you.
Mm-hmm.
And that I've always carried that with me is when we react, we have a decision. We have a choice. So you set the tone on how somebody is going to treat you, how you're going, and what you're going to tolerate.
Yeah.
So
Powerful.
that's something that I've always carried with me, even to today. So
That's powerful.
I believe that it is a choice and something that I work at every day, and it's not easy.
No.
It's not easy because as couples, I do a lot of things to annoy him, and he does a lot of things to annoy me. And
Jose?
he does, and I do with him too. But I choose to be with him. I choose to pick my battles. I choose when to say things and when not to say things, and how I'm going to react, because I've been through my own journey, my own healing, and I think we're on 2 different journeys in that way. And I think he can speak for himself and how he's, what he does. So
That's interesting how life works the magic outside of your relationship, but ultimately it's our decision
yes,
to love or to choose our partner, right? That's interesting.
because
What about
it's
you?
easy to leave. It's
Yeah.
easy just to walk away.
That's the easiest.
Well, that's the
step, yeah.
easiest thing to do.
Exactly.
But then, how would that work out? If that's going to be your norm, just like, and not, confronting the situation, not processing the situation, and just like, bye.
Exactly.
Really? Like, no, I don't think so. Because that used to be me.
Yeah.
Previous relationships, previous to Alejandra in my life, and now it's like, no, you can't be like that. Like, no te puedes ser machita, el machismo. Like, no, relax, bro. Like, you're human. It's okay to not be perfect or to have differences. But talking, right? She said something very important: picking your battles. For me, I've had complications with that
Okay.
because I don't want to let my guard down. Right? So then the question is, well, how has that worked out for me?
Mm-hmm.
And it hasn't.
Okay.
So and then you're out there with, la cola entre las patas, like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was wrong, this and that. So it's like, just,
Of course.
I'm learning. I made mistakes, but I choose her. En las buenas y en las malas. That's why we got married, and there's, like we said earlier, there's nothing that we cannot accomplish together. Together.
Yeah. Together, yeah.
And I choose to be with her, for the
And
rest
I
of my life.
understand that he hasn't had the same work that I've had done. He's had different type of work, but for me, like, I'm not shy to say I went to anger management. I hit my ex because he cheated on me.
Yeah.
So I was forced by the court to go to anger management, and I was mad the whole time I was there. But I'm so thankful I took that because I learned so much.
Yeah.
And even though I thought I was a victim, maybe I was, but I learned that I have choices.
Of course.
And so I think that was something very important. So for me, when we have conflict, he hasn't had that same. I don't want to say education. He hasn't had to take that course to where
Exposure,
he can
maybe?
exposure. Yeah. So where he's saying right now is he acknowledges that he might not handle things the way I have, and even though naturally, like for me, I want to fight. I like to fight. I'm a fighter, but I've learned to, like, what is that going to do?
Yeah.
Where is it going to get? It's going to go two ways.
When is it worth it, and when it's not?
And
right?
Ale, if you allow me to add something, I hear this a lot too, where we really need to understand that even if we live together, we shower together, we're intimate, like not just physically, but like inside, right? We know a lot about each other. We don't know it all because there's that unconscious world that not even ourselves know about, right? Yeah. And that's the one that speaks loud. It speaks the loudest, right? So I think one of the factors here is that we need to understand that at the end, we're just trying to figure it out together. Like, it's like if you guys weren't together and you guys are doing your own thing, but now those lives are not completely blended. And I don't care what you guys believe or what people believe. It's not completely blended. You guys have to do or follow your own journey. And what is marriage? What is, because, some couples are not married and it's okay, we all have our styles, but it's accompany each other in that journey. Like, I don't understand what you're going through because I've never lived through what you did or you went through, but I hear you.
Yeah.
Like, I validate you, right? I accompany you through the pain or whatever. So I think at the end it's just an everyday.
That's what pure love is. Expedite, give, and nothing in return. No expectations. Just give, and be together.
And I think that anybody who expects marriage to be perfect, it's never going to be. I think you have to choose each other, and you have to choose to work it. I had a boss. I remember he was an atheist, and he used to say some crazy things. But one thing he said about marriage is a man has to choose to be monogamous. He has to choose every day. Yeah. And to me, it was crazy. But I think that we have to program our minds, and choose each other and choose to work, like.
I heard something that I have to say. Sorry,
and they said it was an animal instinct too.
Yeah.
Like he said, if you look at animals, a male just goes to mate with different women. Yeah. But and that's just how males are created. Yeah. And he was saying it's so much harder for a male to just choose to work, and I think.
Yeah. There's just so many.
We're staring at each other.
There's so.
Let me take a zip into the mimosa.
There's a lot of definitions about love out there, but the one that I've liked the most is that yes, you choose yourself. You choose each other, right? Yeah. But honestly, I feel it's deeper than that. It's you. I choose you, and I reject other things. Like, I am aware that I can't really have it all. Like, I choose my kids, I choose my family, and I say goodbye to that other side. Okay, yeah. So I think that's
before we started recording the episode, we had an amazing conversation right now. Ale and Jose have cooked breakfast for us. We appreciate that. We're talking about the connection between the mind and the heart, and going back to monogamy. That's an interesting topic, because I think when a person, despite if it's a woman or a man, when we connect our mind and our heart, there's coherence within us. So that expands our consciousness, our awareness of things, meaning we have more clarity of what we want or what we don't want. And that's considering our spouse or our partner. So when one is in peace within ourselves, when it's, peace, we're just happy, we're grateful for every single thing, for this zip, for this amazing conversation, for this day, for that matter. You know what I mean? Like you're not too animal into animal instinct anymore. But it's just a deep conversation.
I have a very interesting question, and I love this question, to be honest. What was that thing? Just pick one thing for each category. I have 2 categories. When you first met, what was that thing that it was easy to show about yourself? And one thing that you were hiding from each other? Like you might say, like when you met.
Very simple. For me is she believed in me.
Okay.
She believed in me. Like Jose Francisco Llamas, like, I believe in you. Okay. Like, you can do it. I was like, what? Nobody has ever talked to me like that. Amazing. Like, no other woman has talked to me like that. Right? It was like, well, you have to make it happen. Or you know what I mean? Like, to all due respect to everyone that's been in my life, but she just poured so much belief in me. But not just pour belief. She was there with me.
Yes. Okay.
And we figured it out together.
Okay.
Right? So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that because, and I've always shared this since day one, and I always thanked her, and I'll forever be grateful for that because she changed this guy in that aspect.
Yes.
And it was a positive one, and that's what she says. There's nothing that we cannot accomplish together.
Yes.
Yeah, I may have an idea, and it's like I'll put it on the table and say, okay, let's go do it.
So you would say, just to rephrase it a little bit and redirect it to the question, it's basically the same thing, right? You had your insecurities.
Absolutely.
Maybe you deeply did not believe in yourself, and I think we all gone through that.
We all go through that
because
yes.
we weren't raised in a cheering. You could do it. Yes. You have all it takes or whatever.
Yeah.
So you would say that it was you used to not be. Maybe you're emotional, right? You're very familiar with your feminine energy deeply inside. And it was, maybe you used to hide it before, but with her, it was easier just to be yourself because she made you feel comfortable. She offered
Absolutely.
a safe zone.
Absolutely.
She created a safe space to be vulnerable in.
Yes.
You could be yourself.
So it's easy to be yourself.
Yes.
It was too easy.
Perfect.
And she helped me. I don't know if the proper word is undiscover what was within, but just brought it out.
Yes.
Came to the surface. Everything.
You know what I mean? Because she saw like hidden talents.
Yeah.
Within me that maybe I knew they were there, but I never exposed them.
Of course.
I think you were a product of environment.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. 100%.
You were a product of environment, so he only knew this. And I saw, he's smart. He's well put together. He can fake it till he makes it in anything that he does. Like, I mean, he's a very handsome, guy. So, and the way he talked, he was a dreamer. He was a dreamer. And he was good at different things. Yeah. And I saw that,
What about you, Ale? Something that,
yeah,
woman to woman.
Yeah.
We have our insecurities too.
Yeah.
Something that, and it could be from past relationships. We tend to be very triggered when we go into a new relationship, right? We still have things to work on. But what is that thing that you say you were hiding? And it's okay, because I can literally explain ours as well. But something that you feel like you were hiding, and one thing that it was easy to show. Maybe it was easy to show your intellect with him, or I don't know, just.
I think for me it was probably my physical insecurities. Like, I was a mom with 3 kids, so obviously your body has gone through issues, and I thought, oh, he's so good looking, like he's probably had all these beautiful girls. They didn't have kids.
Oh,
They didn't have. No, but for me, it was like when you become a mom and your body changes and you get stretch marks and you have stuff like that, going out there, you're insecure. You are insecure. You know, you're insecure about everything. So for me, it's like, you know, like, I'm sure he's been with perfect women. I'm sure he's had like perfect, whose bodies don't look like this. So wondering if he's going to be grossed out, you know, what he's going to think. And my body was not perfect. You know, I was still always thin and covered up. It was fine. But after, I had the stretch marks. I had, you know, it was the imperfection. So for me, it was like, what's he going to think? You know, what is he going to think? And he never, I always felt beautiful with him. So that was very important. He always like, even,
I love it.
Even before I had a tummy tuck, like, I didn't feel like I needed it because I think he loved me for me. And that was so important because it was a big insecurity of mine.
I mean, Ale, I told you this.
Yeah.
You're, my goodness. Like,
Yeah.
inside, it's like a Blind Side. What? No, not Blind Side.
You mean?
Yeah, the chubby girl, and then the guy that saw her get beautiful. Tony Robbins shows up in it. It's not Blind Side.
Oh no, it's Shallow Hall.
Shallow Hall.
Shallow Hall with
Yeah.
Jack Black. Yeah.
It's not that. I mean, you're beautiful outside too. I mean, but that's what I see in people. You know, you're beautiful.
That was the most vulnerable thing for me because confidence I have, you know, but it's like when it comes to that, like, okay, now you're intimate with someone, like you don't want to take your bra off. You don't want them to see your stomach. So for me, that was my biggest insecurity. I could fake it till I make it. And yes, did I knew people like me? Yes. People want to date me? Yes. But when you come, you're like, uh-oh, is this going to be like, I wasn't comfortable in a swimsuit. So it's like our first vacation was in
Cancun.
Cancun. And I was like, for me as a woman, like you want to be perfect. You want to be perfect. So for me, that was really hard, but he never made me feel like, he always made me feel beautiful. So for me, it was like, I loved that. I never questioned that, you know, like he always made me feel good about it. So
and what was that thing that you felt like it was natural to show about yourself?
He always let me be me.
Okay.
He always let me be me. So for me, like, I think he liked, maybe now he gets annoyed with it. But for me, I'm very vocal. Not in an offensive way, but I'm very passionate in a lot of things. And I think that he liked that. I think it changed his perspective. We might, you know, have different perspective on things, but I like that he listened, you know, like even when it comes to politics, you know, like I think we come from different worlds and that's okay.
Yeah.
But he's always listened and he's just like, just the same way I listen.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a purpose why we're together.
Yeah.
There's a purpose. We didn't, we touched on the subject, but I didn't mention it on the table, but we've gone through a stage, maybe a year ago, that talking about the people pleasing stuff, right? That I'm still working on that. She has taught me how to be outspoken and how to put myself before anyone else, not in a selfish way, right? Obviously in a good way. But what I'm trying to say here is that she taught me healthy limits. Be outspoken. So I kind of relate in that as well with you guys. So you and Alma are really alike in that sense, you know? So I totally admire that. To be brave enough to speak up. And if you affect someone else's ego or you hurt someone else, obviously not with bad intentions, obviously, right? You're not trying to hurt anybody. But if you're putting yourself first and trying to defend something in the good way, and you're offending someone else, it's their ego, and that sometimes it's really hard to understand in the system that we're in. But
I think it's staying loyal to ourselves.
Yes.
Honestly, and this is what I tell people in therapy, like sometimes we focus so much about hurting somebody else, but we don't think about how much we hurt ourselves when we choose someone and not choose ourselves. So
guys, going back to the journey, and we all have our challenges, right? Our ups and downs. Takes us to one of those moments where you notice that in your relationship, it needed more than feeling good to overcome that moment. Okay, that pivotal moment when you feel even more like united. Make sense? Like more, like deeper. With us, obviously, has been a lot as well, but takes us to one of those moments, you guys. How do you guys, what happened there, obviously, whatever you guys want to share, but most importantly, how you guys overcome it together.
Well, I think there's a lot. I mean, but it's everyday things, you know, like we're a blended family. So it's going to be with the kids. I mean, most recently we had one about my daughter. She's 15 years old. She has a boyfriend now. We just had this conversation. And again, we think differently. Not that we think differently yet. We're high level, we're on the same page. But, you know, my dad was here this weekend and we were talking. He's like, well, when my daughters are 15, I'm not going to let them go out, or I'm not going to let them. And the conversation that I had is, when your child gets that age, I would rather control the environment. So for example, my daughter her boyfriend asked if he could take her to go eat. And it's always respectful at a decent hour, you know, and I said, oh, yeah, of course. And he doesn't agree with it, but we've asked him for permission and he said that it's okay. And I guess that's kind of like where we don't agree. He's like, she's only 15 years old. And I said, I'd rather control it than have my child sneak around, because I was a teenage daughter. I saw my other friends, whose parents were super strict. They turned out to be, it's a nice word to say, they had the most social vaginas. You know? So, but my friends whose parents set rules, they met the person. It was respectable, and I'd rather know than not know. You know, my daughter's not allowed to be in the room with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend hasn't come over to hang out to the house, but I think it's respectful. So for him, I think where we disagreed was, he's like, I'm not gonna let my daughter. And I says, you haven't crossed that. You haven't crossed that yet. And it's going to be different when our girls hit 15. You know, I hope that they don't. I hope they're so focused in extracurricular activities. That's what I would do differently. I'd keep them so busy that they don't have time to have a boyfriend. But, you know, if I would say that's where we kind of butt head, that's the most recent thing that, you know, and we have to kind of talk through that, you know, because I've been there, and unfortunately his kids are out of state, so he hasn't been there. You know, he sees his kids, and so it's a little different. So that's where we collide a little bit, and stuff like that. And then raising teenagers like him, he doesn't want them eating in their bedrooms, and it's just gonna happen. They're kids, you know. So where we bump heads a lot is when it comes to setting those type of rules. And sometimes he feels like, well, nobody respects me in this house, but those are teenagers. They're gonna do that even with their own parents, whether you're biological or not. So when tension happens, it's usually in stuff like that.
Yes. Okay.
And so when I say we need professional help, is because I need him to understand where I'm coming from. We need a mediator.
Yes.
Because maybe I'm not trying to hear him, and he doesn't even want to hear me.
Of course.
So those are the kind of things I think realistically a lot of people with blended families deal with, you know.
What about you, Jose? Maybe you can speak on the business side, because I know you guys were together. So anything that you feel like and we can like we talked about in the podcast, you know, openly. Maybe one thing, a conflict that keeps coming up and you guys still working on it, or has touched you a lot about yourself or each other.
In business?
Yeah.
So in business,
I like that smile.
In business, I'm the initiator.
Okay.
And I'm the one that has to learn.
Yes.
Right? That's how it's been in the two businesses that we've had. And then she, don't get mad, she intervenes and she takes the reins.
Oh, I see.
Because she likes to be in control.
Okay.
So she might think she's doing the right job. I mean, and I appreciate her, you know, taking the lead, if you will. But then when it's time to, it's like, okay, go for it. No, you do it. It's like, bro, like, come on, like, step up, right? If you're gonna step up to the plate, like, step up. So for me, I have a hard time when you want to say that you are the leader, you're in control, but then you don't step up to the plate in regards to like, okay, well, are you truly mastering your craft?
Yes.
Right? Because it's easy to say, well, you're better at me than me at this, you do it. It's like, no, yeah, we can divide and conquer and leverage each other, but if you're gonna talk the talk, walk the walk, and that's where we bump heads, right? Because it's like, well, you want to do this, okay, well, do it.
So what's been the solution that you guys have been playing or practicing to easy on
She's
things?
waiting to say something right now. You see what I mean?
Like, how do you guys? Because that's an
Alejandra.
everyday thing. It happens to us. You know, sometimes I want to take the lead because it's more about me. Like, I don't feel confident, right? It's not him. So we've had to communicate and take roles. Like, he's good right now. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
He is the one that takes care of the production. Even if I want to, like, we have that boundary. I can say something when we have that negotiation. When can I step in, right? I do the structure, right? So we each other.
But it's interesting how you guys are turning on the masculine and feminine energy and turn it off with each other. We all have masculine and feminine energy, but it's a lot of people, they stay. I say they because it's something that I've been trying to heal or work better. It's when to use my masculine energy or my feminine. So what you guys are doing, it's good. I mean, I think it's workable. A lot of people, they stay on only one side, makes sense, or the other one, and that's where true conflict comes in, because one side of the relationship or partnership, they're either too masculine on their energy and the other one too feminine, or vice versa, and they collide. So I think that's a good thing that you guys are doing in that sense.
It is, but there's a lot of work to be done so we can truly balance each other and learn. Okay, well, this is your strength, this is my strength, right? We understand our strength, but sometimes we want to step in to each other's strength. It's like,
yeah. With all those tensions, what have you guys learned from yourself about your fears or triggers? You know, like what you said. I don't know. I'm a starter, but then when I want to do this triggers me. Make sense? What have you guys discovered in your own path and those tension moments of tension? My bad.
For me, I know for a fact that she's capable of doing everything. And she is so freaking talented. She's a lot more smarter than me. However, because of her self-conscious, and it can be physically, it can be, she'll have you, and I say, well, you're full of excuses. That's what's holding you back, so you can truly shine and people to see the Alejandra Llamas who you truly are.
Okay.
Right? And because of her shyness, right? And she'll hold back, and she doesn't want to be the face. I'm like, man, girl, like, if you only knew what I see, what I feel like you can accomplish, I wouldn't have to work for the rest of my life.
But that's interesting, Alejandra. So it's interesting your balance in that sense. You're outspoken. You tell your truth, but sometimes you can be shy.
Yes.
Don't you feel that, like, if I connect those two in the same path, get the hell out of the way from the way.
I can be a stay-at-home father, bro.
Yeah.
For me, I don't need to be, I'm not saying he is, I don't need to be a star of a show. And I feel like he's so good at it.
Okay.
He's so good at it. Like, even though people say not to do it, I want to be as good as him. But he's a natural. So when you compare yourself to somebody like him, he's been on the stage forever.
Oh, yeah.
He has great presence. He's always going to do it better than me. But you know, naturally in me, because I think I am a control freak.
Yeah.
Do I want to correct him in some things? Yes, but maybe it's annoying coming from your wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we kind of collide. We butt heads a little bit. Sometimes he's open to it. It depends on our moods. We're human. You know,
Yeah, of
sometimes he
course.
just doesn't want to hear it from me. And we all know that when someone else says it. I've had other people tell him things that I've been saying for years, and he's like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like,
It's with your own kids too, right? Like, you tell your kids something, and then Uncle Johnny comes, and it's like, oh, Uncle Johnny says, like, bro,
but
like, we've been telling you for the longest
he
time.
admits that. He openly says that.
That
So
happens. That's naturally to anybody.
It's just part of it. But I think as far as establishing our roles, I'm systematic. I'm very we're complete opposites. He's very he just I would say Jose lives for the moment.
Okay.
And I think for me, as being a mom who's raised 3 kids, being a single, I'm very like, I need to know what's happening. I need to plan everything.
Yeah.
So where we've collided a little bit is he's not like that. And I've had to adjust to that. And like even when he was in the music industry, it's like, oh, okay. So when I would go with him to his gigs, it's like, okay, where are you going to be at tonight? I don't know. Well, what do I wear? Well, I don't know. They'll send me a message like, well, don't you want to know? And so he's like, no, and so for me, I have to plan. He's not, he's on a whim and he's okay with that. So I think but we've learned to figure it out, and work through that.
You're
so
more
I think
spontaneous, right?
Oh,
And
100%.
you're more structured. That's the polarity that works together.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
So
But I think the purpose of choosing a partner is, I mean, of course, a lot of times we don't know it. We don't know what we don't know, but it's to mirror each other,
yeah.
right? We want to have that mirror to see your triggers, right? To identify what's bothering you about the other person, what's making you insecure. Also have that responsibility, or that affection, but a responsibility within of recognizing each other's triggers. If you feel like, and I'll tell you this, right? He feels insecure when I tell him how to do something. So I already know that. So I don't anymore. I did it for a long time.
Yeah.
But now I know if I do, and more in a public setting, he's not going to think clearly. He's going to, until he heals that,
Yeah.
So I think it's not just having clarity of the roles. And this happened to me when I was a teacher. I was so good at planning, but now when you have to put it in action, it's a complete different story. So I think it's having clarity of the roles, but also respecting and having negotiables and non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh,
hey,
that was a good one.
let's say you can't do this. You can't step in. If you do, you're in trouble.
But it's not about you can or cannot do. It's about allowing or healthy limits, right? I mean, you certainly can, but I feel uncomfortable because whatever, it's just my world. Would you respect that, please? You know what I mean? Like that conversation, communication, it's
And let me add something.
Yeah.
So for me, what and it's not like it triggers me. It's more like it not even bothers. I just wish, because she can be like what she said earlier, right? Was like, well, you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that. But I had to start,
Yeah.
and I did it 2 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. That's where my frustration is like, but you don't start. And you can point out that, well, you're better at me than me in this aspect because you've been doing it for so long. But because I started,
Yeah.
and because I see so much potential, and because she's so freaking talented, what frustrates me is that she doesn't take the initiative
Yes.
until, okay, well, I see where this going. Let me take over now. It's like, and that's what triggers me.
Yeah.
Because like, no, like, just imagine if you were to take the initiative, if you were to be the face, and she's like, well, I don't know Spanish. Well, learn Spanish.
Yes, of course.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Right? Just imagine where our lives can be, financially, professionally, with our family, just in every single aspect of life.
yes.
Yeah.
Right? So because I see that talent within her and so much potential, that's what's like, oh, like, man, if you only knew like what you can do. And because she's an influencer, she has a voice, and she's very wise and smart, and she brings a lot to the table. And that's where it's like,
Guys, you've gone through a lot. We've seen this couple in action. They're so admirable, okay, and that's the reason why we're here, and we appreciate you guys' time. But off the script, so to speak, what would be that message you would tell those couples that are into competitiveness with each other? This is very important. You guys are readers. You guys are wise. You guys, like I said, you guys have gone through a lot. I'm certain that message you're about to share with us, it has meaning right there. What would you say to those couples that are competing with each other?
I don't feel like we compete with each other.
we compete together.
We compete together.
Okay.
on our goals that we make. I guess if you would say, even yesterday I teased him because we had personal goals and we had a number that we had to hit, and I said, hey, I got 2, what you got? And he's like, I got 1. So it's just little stuff like that, but it's like, okay, who can we call? What can we do?
Interesting.
How can we, but it's never, I would say we don't compete against each other. I'm never going to compete against him.
Yeah.
I'm good at what I'm good at. He's good at what he's good at. We're no competition against each other. I don't feel like that's ever been a problem for us. We combine what we're good at. I think I'm a master strategist, and he executes. So I can put the game plan together with him, and he's gonna go execute. And I'll say, okay, this. I like him being the face. I don't need to be a face, and I don't think he cares about being a face. He wants me to be the face. I don't want to be the face.
Okay.
I think you want to be the face, but in your own area.
Exactly.
Not in his show. You want to have your own show.
No, I disagree.
But let me tell no, but you know what? It's because I think sometimes this is what I'm trying to say, like, it's a process. And since your inner soul is yelling and screaming that you want that, like you desire that spot, but you're trying, it's like you're on and off. You know what I'm saying? Like you're figuring it out. So let me open up when it comes to the podcast. He's very creative too, but this idea, it was mine, right? We spoke about this very clearly. And I've always been the creative side. Like, oh, I have this, and this. But I take time to take action. So
Same thing.
I had to be aware, accept what I have to work on. Like the potential that I have right now, but where do I want to get to? And I told him, I need to heal the confidence within myself to believe in myself and take action. But it's going to take time. So why don't we do this? You are the one who takes action. And then now, for example, we had a seminar. He pretty much planned most of the thing, right? Now I said, I want to step in. I want to be the one that takes, like, not to be the face, but you know what I'm saying? Like, take action. So now he's like, okay, I'm believing, right? I'm trusting. And that's my journey.
And to me,
right?
it took a lot of time to actually not delegate. Delegate comes at the end. Trust, fight my ego, my insecurities, my fear, to finally let go. That part that you're saying. I'm the initiator, yeah. But then to recognize my own flaws along the way, like I'm not as good as Alma for this. I should step back and have her lead. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make me less man. That's a deep message to a lot of men out there. That's masculine energy and feminine energy. How to play along with it for the sake of your relationship, how you guys are doing it, it's tough. It's a process. So I admire that.
So I'll give you my takeaways or my message to the original question.
Yes.
What message do you have out there that if you're within, your marriage, your partner and being competitive and accomplish things, first you have to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Is this what we want? Okay, let's go get it.
Okay.
Right? And of course, throughout the journey, throughout taking action, then you can truly start building from there. But for me, it's always take action. Well, we'll do it next month. We'll do it next year. No, tomorrow never comes.
Exactly.
It's right now. And the biggest example I can tell you both and the audience is our wedding. We are so freaking proud of our wedding.
Aww.
Our wedding we're to this day, we'll continue being proud. And the people love when every anniversary, the 14th of November, we share videos, pictures, because we relive that moment. And people were like, wow, I wish I knew you. Like you said, I wish I knew you before. Man, like I wish I knew you too, because you would have been there.
Of course.
You know,
Experience.
it was an experience. It was an adventure.
You put a project together. You were able to communicate to put a project
it's
together.
Like, how the heck are we gonna pull this sucker off?
Yes.
I love it.
90% of the finances, it was us. We did have both our parents help to contribute, but I wasn't expecting for them to contribute a quarter of it, half of it, all of it. No, this was us. So I'm very proud of what we created.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my gosh, like, can we do it? It's like, heck yeah, we can do it. Let's get to work. We're gonna sacrifice a little bit here. We have our goals, but we're gonna make it happen. and we freaking did.
I
So
love it.
deep,
I love
man.
it.
So deep.
But
You know
we
what
knew
makes me-
exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
And then you go and you figure it out. You figure it out along the road, along the journey, along the way.
And I think we've stuck to that, because even today I'm
And
like,
we come back every
I
single
want
day.
this, and I was like, what is it going to take for me to get this? How many policies do I have to sell? What do I have to do to get this amount of money to make this happen? And so we reverse engineer it, and that's
Yeah.
how we set our goals. To
So
what
have
we
the
want
clarity
To do. Yeah,
for both of you to go in the same.
but we always come back to our wedding.
Now, I would like to go into this question. It's beautiful because I feel that a lot of couples out there, besides forgetting about having fun, right? I think we take life so seriously, correct? Sometimes. But we also forget to say things, right? Or there's things that we keep. And when we release those, things just flow. So what will be one thing that you held so much from saying that when you finally said it, it just shifted your relationship? Something that you said to each other, just one thing.
I would say for me, it would be forgiveness.
Yeah.
It would be forgiveness. You know, we've had things. I mean, we had a long distance relationship. The industry that he was in, you know, not to go into too much detail, but there were instances and things that happened, and I didn't understand why he wanted to get out of it. His heart wanted to get out, but you're in an environment where things happen, and I think that, you know, things happened, and I had to come to making a point where you're going to keep throwing this in somebody's face, or are you going to truly forgive? And I think that when you forgive somebody, you don't ever throw it in their face again, because then you create something unhealthy and you create something toxic. And I think a lot of people go through that, and whatever it is that that happens. And for me, I think for me, it's been the most powerful thing is forgiveness.
So how did you feel after that? Did you feel a weight? What was
Yes,
completely off you, or?
I feel a weight was off of me, a weight off him. I don't want. I just don't believe in throwing something in somebody's face. You're
Yeah.
going to be miserable. You're going to be
Of course.
unhappy.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to disappoint your partner. You're going to hurt them. But I think all you can do is just be better. And I think the way he's continued to love me, the way he's continued to pour into me, the way he's made me feel about myself,
Yeah.
the security of his commitment to me and our marriage, I think that helps with the healing process of, you know, what we experienced and what we went through. And I think that it's maturity.
Yeah, of course.
It really comes down
It's
to
resilience,
maturity.
huh?
Yeah, it comes down to you said having what was it, the non-negotiables. Me, I have a great relationship with my kid's dad, and that's important. It's important that we communicate, that we have a friendship, because my kids being secure, I don't want my kids to be insecure.
Yeah.
And he was always supportive of that, and he knew that from the very beginning. Like, you have to be okay with it. I don't want to be with a machista. I don't want to be with somebody who's insecure themselves. And so for me, that was very powerful. That he's always been supportive, and that we can all have a good relationship and coexist and be welcome. You know, if my kids are having something, we'll go to the dad with the dad's family, and they welcome him, and that they can get along, because I think that creates confident kids. It creates where your kids don't have. And so me, that's very.
What about you, Jose? What's that thing that you held back from saying, and when you said it to her, I don't know, it just freed you, or it made you feel in a different stage?
Stop being so freaking controlling.
Okay.
And she acknowledges that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, like, relax.
Yeah.
Like, I could do this. Like, I'm not a baby. I'm not your son. I'm your husband. I am the man of the house.
Yes.
Like, let me be me.
Yes.
And if I mess up, let me mess up. Right? But I will come through.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's been one of the biggest battles that I've had with Alejandra is, you know, her being controlling. And it's not coming from a bad place.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know we didn't go deep into her past, but she's a resilient woman. She's been a single mother, and she's had to make it on her own. Of course, there's always going to be family to support and
Yes,
everything,
of
but at
course.
the end of the day, it was her and her children.
Yeah.
You know, so I understand where some of that control comes.
Oh, that's
And
beautiful.
so I need to appreciate,
Yes.
right? And so now, how am I going to take it? Well, be grateful that she's vocal, be grateful that she's controlling, because
Beautiful.
now I know that I have a strong woman by my side. So it makes me proud, right? So that's something that we've addressed, we've pointed out, but then that's
Yes.
also of me appreciating where she's coming from and
Yes.
being grateful.
Man, that's deep.
So, and it comes down to what we were saying earlier. It's like, man, like this woman is so freaking talented. Like I want the whole world to know who she is because of the way she expresses herself, the wit, the wisdom that she has. It's like she should be sharing her story. She should be expressing herself and everything that she believes. And I think we live in an era right now in our lives that, you know, podcasts are necessary. So I praise you guys
Thank you so
for
much.
doing this,
You guys as well.
for doing this, because, you know, I think we're in an era where this is the new norm
Yeah.
of not just in news, but entertainment and just having conversations as humans, that because of technology and social media and all of this stuff, it gives us different outlets to post, because you never know who you're going to learn from. You never know of your journey, your story, who you can heal, touch, inspire, motivate.
Of course.
So
There's always somebody watching.
there's always somebody watching, right? And so I want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity
Likewise.
to be in this show. And, you know, I wish you guys all the success in the world, you know, because,
Likewise.
you know, this woman next to me, she's has talked about having a podcast.
Yes,
So
soon to
hopefully
be.
this
And she will.
inspires and
She
you guys
will.
can help her,
She will.
you
Yes,
know,
of course.
achieve that. So
Of course.
And she's going to be
of course.
nonstop. Now you're going to say,
I got a lot to
no, not
say.
too much light, please. Not too much spot. All right. So we've come to a very special moment. So you guys feel comfortable. We would like you to face each other as much as you can. Can you please face each other, please? There you go.
I know what we're doing.
What are we doing? What are we
Yeah,
doing?
what are we doing?
Remember in
Yeah.
Vegas?
I don't remember.
I love it. I love this so
Our
much.
favorite part of the show.
We would like for you guys to have this special moment. This podcast is not only for the audience, but for the couple. Okay? This is our favorite moment. Besides all the information, all the experiences, we can feel that love within yourselves. You radiate that. Okay? And we would love for you to share what you appreciate about each other.
Ladies first.
No, you go first. You're better at speeches.
Alejandra, first and foremost, I want you to know how much I love you. Even though I haven't been perfect, I'm not perfect. No human being is perfect. But I'm so grateful to have you in my life since day one. I truly am. I've had my flaws, especially lately. I think the last 2 years, maybe I haven't been that man, that husband, that father, that you know, you wish you had. Maybe, you know, just, you know, battling some internal demons, and you know where I'm coming from. But God only knows, you know, that you have to go through that valley of despair. Like, you have to go through hell and back. You have to face the storm. You have to grab the bull by the horns. And I want to thank you for not giving up on me. And I will continue saying thank you for continue believing in me and for supporting me and any freaking crazy idea that I have. Because at the end of the day, it's for us and it's for our children. So I want to thank you, and I want to tell you how much I love you, and
Ya puede besar a la
let the
novia.
adventures continue, not begin, continue, because I love you, and I love our family, and I love our life.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What about you, Ale?
And I wish you could all that sexy lingerie, put it on for me, because she's never have.
I want to thank you for everything that you do for us. I know I don't tell you enough, but I really admire you. I see you on stage. I see how hard you work. You're always trying to please me, and I don't tell you how much I appreciate you, but I do. You inspire me every day, and I know you get mad because I don't want to do everything that you do, but I think you're so great at it, and I love being your #1 fan. I've always been your #1 fan since I've met you, and I know that you are always trying to be better, and I appreciate you. I think you're so bold. I love that you don't care what people think. Even when we go to church, the fact that you're not scared to walk by yourself. I don't have your courage. I wish I did. But I always man, he's not scared of anything. You're not, and I know you're not. And I love that about you. And I know I don't tell you enough how much I appreciate you, but I do. And I wish I was more like you, and I know we're work in progress. I know we fight, but I will always choose you, forever. And our wedding vows mean everything to me, and I love you.
I love it. Beautiful, guys.
Thank you so much for this moment.
Beautiful.
I mean, this was definitely for you. I don't know if that's the one I used already, but anyhow. It's okay. This, you guys, is an example of what we forget to do in a daily basis. This is something that Richie, Ricky, Ricardo, however you know my husband by, we've had to do this again. A lot of people see us and we have no kids, right? And a lot of people judge and say, oh, well, you happy marriage or whatever. I mean, what do you care? What do you care? We have our battles, having been able to conceive has been a battle, has been an acceptance that God has a different journey for us. And I think at the end, the real happiness is accepting each other, right? And don't forget to have this. This is not expensive, right? This is easy to do.
It's free to tell each other.
It's free. It's free to it doesn't matter what time of the day you do it. If you do it in the morning, right before the kids wake up, because I know once they're up, my goodness, there's no time. So find a place. Maybe you don't have time to do it in person. You don't have the energy. Don't forget to send that message. Just give time to appreciate each other. Even sometimes we don't feel like appreciating anything. We'll appreciate that. Appreciate that there's nothing that you can appreciate right now. You feel that you don't appreciate, and it'll come. It'll definitely come. So now this is a moment, a gift for you guys to the audience, right? And I would love for you guys to give them an advice by what you have shared. You can, anything that comes from your heart, anything that you feel like if they're going through what you're going through, or they've gone through what you've gone through, what would you like them to know? Because sometimes we're like, oh my God, if I knew that, right? Like with this thing, a lot of people send us messages like, oh, I would have loved to listen to you guys before, but it's okay. Yeah. Time is perfect, right? Yeah. So what would you share to them? And you're more than welcome to look to this camera over here.
Go ahead.
I think for me, it's not always going to be perfect, but it's worth always fighting for. It's always worth improving. For me, I think reading has really changed my perspective. A lot of audibles, going to church. Sometimes, just like families do every day, we are fighting before we go to church. It seems like every Sunday, right? Just getting out the door.
The enemy is no joke.
Is about, yes. But when we get there, even sometimes when he holds my hand in the parking lot, I'm like, oh, touch me, And then we get back in church, and for us, I think that's been very, very important for us, is just to continue having that relationship with God. Marriage isn't easy. Having business with your partner is not easy. But I wouldn't change anything.
For me, this might be a hard pill to swallow. One of my sales coaches several years ago said, you're responsible for everything that happens in your life. And sometimes you may not understand, right? But you get to choose what you do with that experience. And Ollie said it earlier, forgiveness is the most powerful, I think, thing ever in this world. And learn to forgive faster.
Yeah.
Learn to forgive faster. And because it's also healing,
Yes.
through life. And that's why I say it's an adventure, because we're gonna have our ups and downs, like Ricky said. And sometimes when we feel like, why is this happening to me? Why is that? I truly believe that if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, if you believe in something even bigger, greater, most powerful, it's shaping you, it's shaping us for something bigger and better. But a lot of times the easiest thing to do is throw in the towel. And so then you go back to square one, and then you're gonna face that hill, and then you're gonna come back to the valley of despair. And if you continue taking the towel, you will never know. So go through the storm like the buffalo, and don't take life for granted, and just continue moving forward.
Thank
it.
you guys for that
We want to
message.
thank you guys for inviting us over to your beautiful home, having this amazing conversation and sharing your story with us. And also, I mean, this story, guys, tells us that it's all about trusting the path, understanding each other in our relationship, right? Understanding yourself, and love will transcend, right? And anything can happen. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this episode so the story of Jose and Alejandra reach more couples out there that we all need to process this message. Speak to your spouse, process the message one more time, and God bless.
Cheers.
See you guys next time.
Cheers.
Goodbye, you guys.
Bye-bye
We're
now.
going to continue drinking here. Bye-bye.
Ya se me la acabé.